What?
You gotta see when Ed's here and Ed's gonna video him. He does all this shit.
Okay,
He
you
goes to
ready?
the bathroom. There's like facial exercises and shit. Hi.
Okay, you ready?
Yes.
What are we doing?
Intro.
Okay, ready? I know. I just want to see if I can get you to say that. Okay, ready? Someone has to say go.
Go.
Hi, my name's Chip. This is Mikey.
Hi.
That's Danny G. Do it again. You're not supposed to say hi in the fucking intro.
Why can't I say hi?
Because this is the intro. You don't say hi.
What am I, an imaginary
After I
Mikey sitting
stop.
here?
No.
Am I imaginary? Is this just an imaginary person?
When you go to
sitting
a
here?
fucking concert and they're saying, "Here comes Metallica," you don't hear fucking Kirk Hammett going, "Hi."
It's because he doesn't make enough money. Only Hetfield used to say hi.
Hetfield doesn't say hi. Okay, let's start over again. Okay, from the top. Ryan, go.
Go.
Hi, my name's Chip. This is Mike. That's Danny G. This is San Diego Customs Night Move Episode 2 with special guest Jeff G Holt, editor. You fucking goddamn guy!
why I
It's
did
a
it.
long intro. Yeah, but he's supposed to. This box of iced tea from Mikey's homeland, and I'm gonna drink
organic.
it. It's called Boss.
Yeah, but you know what's fucked
And
up?
no, they're not
It says
sponsoring us, you internet people.
It says it's produced in Belgium. That's not my people.
Hey, why does it say
But
it's
this-
produced in Belgium if it says it's from South Africa? I'm a bit confused. Different.
It doesn't say it's from
It's
South
designed
Africa,
in
but the
South
tea is
Africa.
from South
In
Africa.
South Africa is the only place the ingredient is. It comes.
Rooibos tea is,
That's
is
where the company is.
You heard of this before?
not this, but Rooibos tea I have.
Yeah, it's
actual
like the
the
thing,
tea.
right?
Yeah,
it's
that's
an
that.
it's an antioxidant, organic, non-caffeinated, naturally non-caffeinated tea.
Then I'm really
You
gonna
work
like
for the
it.
company? It sounds exactly like you might work for the company. It's great.
But it's,
It's not
actually
too
very
bad.
good.
I mean,
Have you guys all tried it yet?
I'm
Yeah,
drinking
it's not bad.
Take a
I'm
sip
drinking
right
the
now.
lime and ginger one, and it's fucking rad.
this is kind of weird that we're all trying a drink at the same time.
It's weird. I'm trying to drink
For
without
no
any
fucking
alcohol
reason.
in it.
Well,
it's
hey,
good,
you
though.
could always
It
mix.
does-
There's
so
some whiskey
how
in the
much did
fridge.
they
You
want
mix
to
a
pay
little
us to
whiskey in
say
there.
it's good?
It's actually good with like vodka or whiskey. For sure.
I see this now. It's not. It's there's nothing really to it as far as for like. There's no chemicals.
It tastes
It's all
like
natural.
flavored
It's just
air.
water and cane sugar,
Yeah,
which
this
is
one's-
pretty
try
cool.
this one, Dave. It's lemon. It's probably got a little more.
What is yours? Have
goodness in
fucking
it.
acid in it? I mean, Danny is drinking the Giggle Patch one. Oh, it's so goofy.
It's not. It's really not. It's,
You know what? Disclaimer: Danny G took a hit of weed before we started this, so
He
anything
did
he
not.
says
I
is
didn't
null
see
and
him do
void.
anything.
So, Chip, you're gonna tell me this didn't taste like flavored air right now, do you?
No, it tastes like
Fucking give me that one.
It tastes
Let me
like
taste it.
fucking
You're full of
berries.
shit, dude.
Let me taste this one.
Dude, you should perhaps try this 50-cent style blunt.
No, it tastes like berries and like berry flavored tea. You barely took a
one's-
sip. You know what? You've got to take more than a milliliter of a
This
sip.
one's pretty good. Whatever this one is. What's this
Oh
one?
man.
God, you got to take a chug.
Oh, lemon. Yeah, lemon's
that one's
pretty hard
good
to
enough.
fuck lemon up.
Yeah.
Hey, Jeff,
Tea. Yes, sir.
do you
And
smoke
this
pot?
one is
No, I do not.
berry.
We ask everybody that comes on
Why
here,
not?
in here.
You know, it's a weird reason why. I grew up with my dad smoking weed, and I thought it was, if your dad does it, it's uncool as shit. So I figured I'd just ruin my life with alcohol.
Oh, well, my mom smoked weed my whole life growing up, and she just texted me the other day and asked me for one of our weed grinders. And she's texted me, I think, 5 times since then,
'Cause you didn't send it
reminding me to send her a weed grinder to the other side of the world.
That's awesome.
So yeah, my 65-year-old mom wants a weed grinder.
But
Something's unique about a blunt. It's kind of weird. The way it burns, the way it tastes. I mean, because I got some pretty fucking Class A weed in here, and it's very unique. I don't know. It's hard to explain to someone who doesn't use it. You want to try it? No. You want to try it? No. Want to try it?
I got contract shit.
Yeah, man.
I'm already getting fired for beating up 50 Cent and smoking weed.
Don't worry about it. What about if
and
you're...
endorsing a non-man's product?
Jesus Christ. We don't even get paid
Hey, you know
for
what?
any of this.
Maybe you can steal this potential sponsor from us, like you stole the fucking Suja Juice one. Oh, yeah, you did. You
Shots fired!
roast on Danny G right now.
Hey, Jeff.
Okay,
Yeah.
here,
We
I'm
do
gonna
what-
tell
what's
tell
that?
everyone the Suja story.
Okay.
We did an event and we contacted Suja.
I
and
stole actual
No,
Suja
no, no, no,
drinks
no,
out of a
no,
cooler and put it in my bag. Remember that?
No, yes, I did. You filled up your whole bag and then rode home with
That's
them.
awesome.
It was so good.
Okay, so we got them and they gave us a whole bunch of drinks. And then Danny G was like, dude, those drinks are so fucking good. Can I get the contact for that? And I was like, sure. I gave him the hookup.
Yeah.
The Suja guy never answered an email again after he got the fucking Vans Connect.
He dropped the, hey, I'm the Vans
He's been
guy.
sponsoring
Yep.
Vans.
So him
Smooth
and everyone at Suja are now rocking Vans.
No.
And at the Vans HQ,
think
you know,
I-
there's like 10 fridges filled with fucking Suja
They
juices.
drop that shit off weekly.
Yeah, weekly. They have the weekly Suja delivery.
In all honesty, I think that they had like a little bit of a house cleaning over there because I don't get Suja.
Really? They
Nah,
didn't.
it just
There's
cut the
no.
whole thing,
There's
kinda
no
just
Suja
faded.
fridge at Vans.
No,
Oh, all right.
What
Well, I
about
was
your
bitter
house?
about that for a while. I guess not.
you never
about
said
your
anything. I'm
house?
glad you said something now. I'm glad we can put that behind us. I didn't do
Oh, he's
it.
been stewing on that for 2 years now.
Fucking G story.
That's exactly
We made
what it
some weed
was.
grinders.
Yeah, I saw those things, man. You got to get my dad one.
Yeah.
He'd love that shit.
It's a 5-pound magnet pull, so you got to use a little bit
I
of the
don't
strength
even
there,
know how to
buddy.
do
There
any
you
of this,
go.
dude.
Oh,
There you go.
there you go. You did it.
You put your material in there and you just grind it, and then you can.
Good for cocaine.
Fuck, I don't know. I don't do coke, but I bet you it would be.
If you put your crack rocks in there, you could grind it up
You know,
into
it's
your
funny though.
sniffable
You'd
coke.
have to have some fat ass nostrils to put.
This whole episode is just going to be
All
one
this.
big bleep from start to finish. You're not going to hear one word.
Who's bleeping anything? We don't bleep.
You said queer. That's it. No one else has
Yeah.
said anything
At least
bad.
you didn't say the N word.
Yeah, no N
All
word.
right, let's get
no
back
bundle
to
of sticks.
let's get back to Jeff.
Yeah.
Well, hold on a second.
Yes,
Since
sir.
we're off topic of Jeff, we might as well clarify for everybody who's wondering why we made a bunch of dick jokes on the first episode. We should probably explain it.
There
that-
were dick jokes in the first episode.
Yeah, there's dick jokes, jerk off jokes, all of which people that don't understand what
Dicks
goes
are
on in this
jerking off?
shop. We have an adult store that's across the street, as you know when you pulled up, because I filmed you parking in front of it because it was funny to me. Where there's some weird behavior. Who knows what goes on really, but.
Do you know
Like-
exactly what goes on?
Well, I
there?
don't want to point the finger in case, like, let's say the building blows
Because you might
up.
get chocolate on it.
No, let's say the building blows up, and then they're like, well, you guys were talking about all the things that went on there, and you know, you kind of.
Well,
negative.
let's just say in our motorcycle parking, we found some chocolate-covered condoms that were filled with icing.
Used condoms.
Yeah, that's a great.
How
way
about
to put
that,
it.
right?
And then one day I came and I found some, we'll call it chocolate pudding on the ground in a pile, and it wasn't from a dog. What are you doing, man?
You gotta pull that thing closer to you. No one's gonna hear you,
dude. You don't know
He
how
projects.
a microphone works. Please don't ever do that again. I thought you were trying to take my. I thought you were trying to take my fucking boss, bro. What's up?
Yeah, we actually
Seriously, you guys laugh like you're on pot, and I'm on pot, not laughing. I don't understand what's going on.
We got a lot of feedback, like good feedback from the first one, but there was some people I respect very much that was like, dude, what was the jerk off thing all about? Like, I don't want to hear that shit.
Yeah.
And that's what it is. It's the
So,
if you
well,
may or may
but
not know,
back
we
to
have-
what it
we
actually
have a jerk
is.
shack across the street.
It's an adult store that has,
It caters to male clientele. Let's put it that way.
and their needs, and
It's a man's kind of store.
yeah. So we didn't know
I
that
wouldn't go
moving
so
here,
far as to
and
say
we didn't
that,
really
but-
care. I don't really care about what you need to do to have your brain straight, but if you do it on my curb, then I'm fucking pissed. And if you leave your remnants
And the
where people
evidence,
can see it,
yeah.
you know, like then it's a little fucked up.
Well,
Well,
the
here's
old
it.
place, the old San Diego Customs used to have syringes and regular
And
Yeah,
actual
condoms.
those
shit
are
too,
crackheads and heroin
Right.
junkies. You can deal with them. You know, there's two ways of dealing with them.
No, you can't. That's why you moved.
Well, no, we couldn't get away from no. We
At your
moved
door,
because they
yes.
populated like
Yes.
cockroaches and we got overrun.
Yeah, it was
so
pretty crazy.
sometimes you got to run
It's
to
The
the hills
Walking
and
Dead
Yeah,
fight
it looked
down
like
there
The Walking
another
Dead
day.
underneath that bridge, bro.
Absolutely.
So we chose to move here, and we didn't know that we were moving into a different kind of battle.
I remember actually making a fucking joke though when we were moving this place. It was like it sucked. It was a lot of there's a lot of heavy stuff here to
Yeah.
move. It wasn't fun. it was horrible. It was like midsummer. It was hot as shit.
It was August.
And I was like, well, it'll all be worth it in the end, though, dude, because you won't have to deal with
Bums.
coming into work with human shit,
Yeah.
feces at your
And
door.
dude, there's straight dudes just
Yeah,
passed
but
out in front of
guess
the
still
door.
what?
here.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like
But-
a whole nother level of gross.
Yeah, but we've got the human shit.
Yeah,
Still.
that's what I mean.
We can't
Piles of
escape.
pudding.
Dude,
we can't
check this
escape
shit out,
human
man.
shit.
This is a quick little. I'll tell you this one because this is funny. The pudding is actually poop, and I was walking from the parking lot, just casually with Jackson, you know, and we were walking, and I was like, "Hey, don't do that. Get away from there." So we walked over, I hit the door, opened it up, I turned around, and I was like, "Fuck, that's actual fucking human poop."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Man, this sucks." So, oh man, it's such a gross story. That day, it turned into, well, where did the poop come from? How did it get there? Why is it there? What transpired to get it there? So we have security, obviously. So, Mikey comes here, he sees the poop, has the same fucking reaction I do, like, oh, geez, what is this? Like,
Right.
Approaches it, when you see human shit on the ground in front of your establishment, you immediately go to that it's a vagrant and they had to go to the bathroom and that's it. We know different. So we
Well, you know different now.
Well, we know different just because of what goes on across the street, and we never thought we'd go to this level, which I'm about to tell you. So we look at the video, I watch it, and Mike gets there. I'm like, you're not even gonna believe this one. This dude pulls in here at like 2 a.m, where we park our motorcycle only parking. So obviously he doesn't care that there's no bikes there, but fuck it, who cares? I'm gonna park there anyway. Sits in his car for about 20 minutes, gets out, walks around the car onto the sidewalk, opens his sliding door of his thing. It's like a newer style car, so it's a Jeep, so it has a sliding door and a passenger door. Slides it open, puts his seat down, jerks off, shoots his load into his car.
Somewhere in his car.
Yeah, into the back door. Who knows where it landed? That really doesn't matter, right? Takes his shirt off, pulls his pants down, takes the aforementioned pile of shit,
Gets out of his car.
No, he was out when he jerked off.
Oh, yeah. Then
so then
kind of cops a squat.
Takes his shirt off, poops, takes his shirt, wipes his ass with his shirt, folds it up into a square, places it in his open door where he just jerked off, shot his load, and was hanging out. Waits a few minutes, looks around, there's cars. It's 2 a.m, mind you. Cars, when they turn, lights go on him. He's looking like a deer in headlights, like, like, whoa, pants still down, shirt off. Dude fucking pulls a sheet out of his car, like a twin-size sheet, folds it up, puts it in between his legs.
One arm in front of him, one
Like
arm
this.
behind him, and grabs it and
Grabs
does the
it
old...
and cleans his crack.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Right? Pulls it out, looks at it, folds it back up, puts it back in his same place where his shirt is, walks back around his car, opens up his door, gets in, sits there for a few minutes, leaves. Didn't even go into the adult store, just felt like pulling over and...
Well, he knows
Have
this
it.
area, apparently.
Yeah.
So much for us cleaning up the podcast, huh?
Yeah. Hey, man.
It's all about jerking off and poop stuff.
Well, you have to kind of wonder. Like,
That was the most gross story I've ever heard of my
Yeah,
life.
but it's
I don't
true,
know why.
and you wonder why I
feel
sit with-
uneasy.
The producer is shaking his head.
Yes, he is.
Hey,
I feel uneasy right
that's a real story of a real event that happened here.
In front of
That's some
San
real
Diego
shit,
Customs.
dog.
Yeah,
The
it's a real
difference-
get it?
There's only like 5 guitar shapes, and every other manufacturer has a variation of that. I mean, what do you think? That's foot pegs in our game. That's
a good
handlebars in
point.
our game. I mean, there's only so much you can do. Some people fly off the handle. Some people are okay with it. I mean, the state of the motorcycle union right now is it's not so great. If you're even talking about things like,
You think just because it's saturated?
there's a bunch of stuff, the motorcycle population in general, a lot of the younger kids, they're not picking it up as much as we did in our generation. I'm not going to point fingers at millennials or anything, because a lot of people are buying bikes. I mean, you see the wheelie kids, dude, they're all millennials. They're having a ton of fun.
Yeah, but what I see in our demographic within the industry, I see a fuck ton of young people.
Yes.
So that's what's confusing to me is.
But they're not going in and buying brand new bikes.
That's a good
And
point.
Harley's making some of the best bikes, if not the best range of bikes they've ever made ever, and that's undisputable. If you go in and throw a leg over a bike and ride one, I'm talking about box stock bikes. Yet again, it's our job, and why you guys have a shop and why Danny is even known is because we can't wait to buy a brand new bike and rip it apart. I don't care if it's like the brand new, top of the line Road Glide. Like, we would still rip it apart.
Yeah.
There's always
it's
things to be
there's
fixed.
always things to be done and had. But I mean, this whole issue with people going out of business and this and that is, there's a lot of people in this industry that it's a labor of love for us, and there's a lot of other people that are just trying to make money off of it.
Agreed.
And that there's been a separation, and I found this in cycling as well, bicycling, that it happened and there was a cleansing, and there was, for us with the chopper game and how huge it was. I mean, 2004 2003, like HotBike's pages were over 300 pages for the magazine. It was like the Sears catalog. Now we're lucky if it's a 120 page package, and that's just the way it goes. They didn't have internet back then. There wasn't it wasn't word of mouth. It was all you bought the magazine, and it was like a catalog. But I would say probably 12% of those companies in that magazine back then are still around. And there's new people popping up. There's how many exhaust manufacturers, how many, foot peg manufacturers, how many guys doing small parts that young people can afford. It's really cool to see that. But these big guys are kind of coming full circle, and, big bank take little bank, and now the big bank can't handle to pay all the stuff. And then there's a lot of problems with that. And, Harley came out with some new bikes, and, they weren't that well accepted with the masses. I mean, guys that are on the leading edge of customization and know how to ride bikes, like us all sitting at this table, we accepted that fact pretty early on with those bikes. And we also actually rode them and realized that they were superior machines to what we were riding 10, 12 years ago.
Absolutely. Sure.
And, you can, I tell people, you can buy an old Dyna and you can put $13,000 worth of suspension and engine componentry on it and make it ride almost as good as a brand new Softail.
Yeah.
And it's a hard pill for people to swallow.
What people never talk about too is if you find that barn find 01 beautiful T-Sport that's just been sitting, in Florida somewhere, not ridden, the bike, it's a 2001. It still has to go down to the frame to make it rideable. Everything rubber on it's dry rotted. You can't just jump on that bike and go. It's a full build if you find that clean 01. Just because it's just been sitting.
Why, unless you want a Dyna for a specific reason, which is to build a club style bike or have a T-Sport OEM fairing. Unless you want that for a reason, why wouldn't you go and buy a newer bike and spend, the same amount of money and just go and have a warranty and be able to just rip? If you don't need some of the stuff that older bikes offer.
I think everybody sitting here has been on both sides of that fence, even though we're professional in the business.
Shit, look behind us. We got them all sitting right there in the line. New to old. Dyna and FXR and Softail.
I got called out for being a hater, when the new Softail dropped. And I was like, look, man, I have 3 FXRs, 5 Dynas.
You got a lot of bikes, man. What the hell?
It's crazy. I'm the guy that loves this, I'm the guy that helped put this thing together. That, there was no dudes doing 12 o'clock wheelies on the cover of any magazine. There was no people with panel painted Dynas in any magazine before HotBike did it.
I agree.
I'm not saying I'm the guy, but I'm saying I helped that along, just like everybody sitting here has done.
Everybody has it's a group effort.
Yeah, and I mean I've taken now I see a panel painted Dyna. I get 4 of them sent to me a week, man, and I'm just like, man, we need to get over this.
Didn't we stop that?
Yes, we did stop it.
Awesome.
Well, I just don't run them anymore.
There's just too many of them.
It's just
Pete
cookie.
was
It's
talking
cookie
about
cutter
it.
now,
There's
man.
guys who do it, and there's guys who try to do it, and the guys who try to do it, it doesn't look like the guys who do it, and the guys who do it are the ones that.
I'm not going to name names, but there's like 4 dudes painting bikes that started that gangster shit that are still doing it where it looks good, and then there's other dudes where it's copycat stuff, cookie cutter stuff,
Some
man.
of those guys have no business painting at all.
You might as well have a 300 rear tire chopper, as far as I'm concerned. Like, I want to see something new, and this bagger thing, the performance bagger thing is a really cool thing to see getting big. The nth level performance FXR and Dyna stuff is rad. The nth level, I'm not even talking about trackers. I'm talking about high-end Sportster builds. I really dig, because anybody that's ever ridden a Sportster knows how badass they handle. And if you put a big motor and good suspension on that, you're going to get way more fun out of that than most heavy-ass V-twin Harleys.
For sure.
I always laugh at the new dudes because it's standard issue to okay, I got a Dyna so I can make fun of Sportsters now. No, you can't, motherfucker.
Yeah.
That Sportster will spank
It'll rip
your
it
fucking
off.
bike, dude.
Yeah, you put
You
a
gotta be
1200 kit
careful.
on that thing and fucking
Oh,
it'll
man.
fly.
1250 kit, 16-inch shocks, 4-over front end. That's the best street and dirt bike you could ever have.
Yep. What do you think of the Indian?
Which one? The big bikes?
Well, not the touring bikes.
No,
the
I like them all.
tracker bike.
I mean, there's a few things I really, really like about them, and some things I don't. As a professional standpoint, I think they look really good from the transmission up, and the transmission back. they look a little plasticky. They could do a little more work. But I mean, my girlfriend Maggie and I, we rode the top of the line bagger. You know, it's a $40,000 Indian bagger to Sturgis, and it was amazing. You know, it's a single pivot rear shock with a single shock in the back, and I could ride the thing fully unloaded, or just myself, or with her and I with no baggage in it, or fully loaded, and you didn't have to touch a rear shock.
That's
On
awesome.
a Harley Ultra, you would have to do so much to get the air shocks to work, and this and that and the other. And I mean, that Thunderstroke 111 motor is amazing. Like, we rode up there with 2 guys with worked motors and on road
Harleys?
bikes. Yeah, and we left them every time we were passing cars. And that was, they both were by themselves. And I had Maggie on the back, and we weighed the bike fully loaded, and it was 1,200 and something pounds. And I mean, I'm not a light guy, you know, and Maggie doesn't weigh much, but I mean, when all of us on there, and that bike was crazy. Dual climate heated seats, heated grips. I mean, it was the ultimate. It was like a Mercedes 5
That's
Series,
cool.
you know.
Oh, that's bitching.
And then the other bikes, you know, that Scout is an amazing bike. If you can get past the radiator on the front, and if you do a little work on them, I mean, they're 100 horsepower stock.
Yeah.
And there's kits. You can easily get 20 more horsepower out of them. They're $11,000.
They just released the 116 kit.
Yeah, that's for the big V twin
Okay.
bikes, and that's a really cool thing too. I mean, I was at the IMS show in Long Beach and got to ride one for a half a day, and they made that Thunderstroke motor really wake up. It was, I like seeing that. I like seeing
Their only problem though is their aesthetic, man.
Well, that's the
They've,
thing.
they've got the technology, they've got the power, they've got the motor, but the aesthetic, I just
why.
can't get with it, man.
They still don't have the heritage. No one has the
Well, I mean,
heritage.
they-
I know
Yeah, but they
Indians
have
around
money.
back.
They have money and
Bottom line
smart
is,
people.
when I was a kid, I never once saw a pack of Indians flying by me on the freeway. In my, sitting in my
Right.
mom's car and went, "Wow, I want to be those guys."
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, you're right.
Same with Triumph. Same with Honda. All of them. They don't have the heritage, man, and that's why I'm blindly loyal to Harley Davidson. That's
Well,
it.
I
I don't
mean,
want to ride an Indian because
I-
I'm afraid I'll like it so much that I'll be like, "Fuck, that's where I want to be."
Well, I have a
be
Scout
smooth.
now that I'm working on.
You know, kind of like your
And
M8.
I own it,
Yeah,
and then you know I have 14 other Harleys. So I mean, there's 1 and 14. So
What's your address?
They're all hidden, all everywhere. They're stashed at everybody I
They're in
know's house.
14 different shops getting worked on.
Yes, exactly. There's
One's,
one, there's
one's
one
over
here.
here on our showroom floor.
If you compare the Indian to the M8, the 2008, 17 or 18 baggers, or some of the Softails, what would you compare the motor as far as for how smooth it runs, how it shifts?
I mean, I really like
Latency.
the way the Indian is because it's direct drive. It doesn't have a primary belt or chain or anything, which
Right.
is makes it really cool. But I mean that Milwaukee 8 motor, you know, it's unbelievable. It's smooth. It works well. It's got a lot of power. You can chug it or you can rev it. Like it reminds me of like, you know, a super well built Evo.
Have you heard
With
of
all
any of
that
them
torque,
blowing
yeah.
up?
I've heard of a couple blowing up.
Me
only
too.
when people screw with some stuff that shouldn't have been screwed with
Like
and
what?
tried to hot rod them.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Yeah, you know, it's too early in the game to start
Every motor
throwing
blows
crap at
up.
them.
Everybody's blowing motors
You know, I don't have a problem. I mean,
Everyone's
all
what?
the Milwaukee 8s I've ever ridden
across
and-
the board. Man.
Yeah.
Every motor has its own issues and shit to work
Oh
out.
yeah, whether it's Indian, Harley, or whoever else. I mean, but I think all in all, I think the Milwaukee 8 is super good motor. That little Indian is super badass, and then you know the big Thunderstroke is good. I mean, I can't say a bad word about any 3 of those motors, man.
You know how petty I am? I'll admit this too. You know, I spent time on the M8 motor. I've been smoked by dudes on M8s. You know, like they're fast, they're great, all that. My one problem is they don't sound good to me. I have not heard an M8
You
yet
like
that's
the
like,
way
wow,
twin
that sounds
cam
really good.
sounds?
Mine sounds
I like
good.
the twin cam, and that's gonna have to just change.
Yours
Over,
sounds
you know?
good.
Well, I mean, nothing sounds better than a crazy ass Evo with a,
Yeah,
with a Thunder header.
I
You know,
don't-
I mean,
barks, you
I've
know
heard
that.
Yeah,
So I don't
you're-
know
Fab
why.
28.
Yeah, you're wrong.
Has a pipe that's out.
You're wrong.
I
We rode to Vegas. Not
No,
bark, bark, bark,
yeah,
all the
it's
way.
Doesn't
He's
matter.
entitled to his
You
opinion.
put a different pipe on it, and you
Yeah.
will like it.
What
I think
pipe
so.
is on your bagger, your M8 bagger?
It's not done yet.
Well, what pipe are you putting on it?
Either a Fab 28 or a Bassani. We're working through
Both
Yeah,
of them are
it's
good.
stuff right now. Both are good.
Yeah, well, when you
Yeah.
get it back, it'll
But it's
it'll
still-
it'll
it's-
have some
it's-
snap.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure it'll be good.
Don't
But
put
there's
either of
nothing
those.
like a built twin cam with it going through a thunderheader.
No, I think that yeah. I mean, both of those exhausts are good for Milwaukee 8. I mean, there's a ton of good people doing stuff.
When I do this, you do this. When I do this, you do this.
Oh man!
All right, so that'll be your thing.
Danny, you see that pipe sitting right over there
check
next
it
to
out.
Maggie?
Oh yeah, man.
We'll just leave this
In
right here.
early next year, that'll be on a M8 pipe.
Okay.
It better go
So
on.
you
one of my
won't need
twin
any of
cams
those
first.
aforementioned brands.
Same rule apply. Okay, if you go like that, I'll go.
That's
See?
never gonna happen.
No, it works. So that way,
Is that the
it's
shut up- that's the shut up
It's
button?
covert, so we could be arguing. Blah, 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 and I'll just go. And he'll be like, okay.
that's the edit later on. You have to do all
Oh
that.
yeah, just go like this.
Everything's gonna
There's
get
no
cut out.
editing.
I'll tell you
There's
this,
no
like,
beeping.
Already
There's-
within 30 minutes, I'm already saying, Ryan, 50 Cent, that's cut. That'll get me fired from Vance. Me smoking weed,
I'm making
that's
a
cut.
list.
That'll get me fired from. Like, there's gonna
Oh,
we'll do
come
some
on.
editing.
Look at what
You big
dude,
fucking
This
pussy.
guy's bringing up all these fucking rules, bro.
wait.
You're 1099. How you gonna get fucking
Oh,
fired?
trust me,
He
dude.
didn't say he was going to fight 50 Cent. So
No, you said you-
shouldn't be fired for
In a
that.
sanctioned event, I would fight him.
Yes, I do agree.
cannot
with
street
that.
Okay,
fight him.
well then, back to what I said. There's no cutting or beeping. This
Okay.
shit's live, and you're talking shit, dog.
This shit's all on the record,
Want some grass?
homie.
Oh yeah, you're on contract. Sorry, Mr. Holt. Oh, contract. Mike, nighttime. Let's I'll have to just
Nighttime.
finish it. Joel, let's talk about music. What kind of music do you like?
I grew up like, I don't know, straight into punk rock music, English punk rock, Orange County punk rock, LA punk rock. Nothing really East Coast. Wasn't
you-
into East Coast hardcore or anything like
Did
that.
you go? Where did you grow up?
I grew up in Anaheim, California.
Where were you born?
Anaheim, California.
Oh, I thought you lived somewhere else for a while.
I moved up to the Northwest for a while.
that's right.
During actually the middle of the grunge years.
Yeah, we
saw all that.
Chip sent me an article. I read a story. There were some pretty awesome photographs in there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, a big, fat, chunky Holt
Oh,
with
man.
overalls on, with no shirt on.
Yeah, yeah.
Looking like an
That's-
80s wrestler.
Oh man, I used to run it wide open back then with the food, drink, and life, man.
You know, you looked like an '80s backyard wrestler.
Yeah, I
not
pretty
even
much
not even a
was.
legit one. Like you were
Georgia
like,
championship wrestler.
yeah, you were like
Shit.
some
Gordon
Alabama
Soley.
fucking dude jumping off
Is
his
that when I
roof
had
onto a
long
picnic
hair that
table.
was in cornrows, or was it
No,
cut short?
no,
Yeah, I used to wear those same
I would pay
overalls
money to
with
see the cornrow
straight
picture, though.
cornrows, man.
I posted it on Instagram.
Oh, it's fine. I've posted all those photos as well. Those are from the old bike days.
Maggie's sitting over there laughing.
Back to music.
Yeah.
We'll just continue.
Yeah, I mean, for me, like, I was always into, a little more rugged, fast music. I didn't even really learn or know anything about, like, what you would call classic rock now till probably the early 90s. I just was like, screw that hippie shit. Of course, there was always, like, Iron Maiden and Motorhead.
Did you
and
just call
Venom.
classic rock hippie shit?
Yeah. So, that
great.
kind of crap. But
I was kind of coughing when you said that, and it's not actual hippie shit.
I know. But, I mean, it's from that era.
Well, hippie shit would be 60s.
You liked classic rock when you were a kid?
Me?
Yeah.
So that's the thing is now, right? Mike and I have been on this 80s new wave kick and classic rock kick, and I would have to venture to say, yeah, I think I did but I didn't know I did. It was on the radio so often
Right.
that you just hear it and it becomes embedded in your brain.
Yes.
And then you go ahead and now you don't.
And when
listen
it
to
plays now you know every single word to
like,
every
I know
single
all the
classic
words
rock
to
song.
Journey, Don't
Un-
Stop Believing. And I fucking
unintentionally.
sing it.
Yeah.
Magdalena
exactly.
sent that to me.
Oh, wow.
That was me a lot of pounds ago. I've actually lost over 80 pounds total from being my fattest, which is kind of crazy.
He used Nutrisystem.
I didn't use anything. I
Yeah,
just stopped shoving a 12-pack of beer in my mouth every
Do you,
day and a bunch of
A
food.
steady diet of methamphetamines.
God, I wish it could have been that easy.
Do you eat healthy?
I eat pretty healthy. Maggie's gonna laugh back there, but I mean, from what I used to eat, I
You know
eat
what?
pretty
If
healthy.
you follow Jeff on Instagram, that comment was absolute fucking bullshit.
He's like, today I
gotta
posted
say
a
that.
peanut butter and bacon sandwich.
I got this Bloody Mary, and it's got a whole fucking chicken on it, half a pound of bacon,
2 hamburgers
2 hamburgers, and a pickle.
Dude, here's the thing, Jeff.
and 12.
Jeff,
Yeah.
how old are you now?
I'm 49 years old, man.
So
Damn, you
you
old
can
as
eat
dirt,
like that.
dog.
What's the situation like? Heartburn? You ever experience that?
I take medication for heartburn.
Okay.
But yeah, if I
just-
don't take the medication, it's like a mule is kicking me in the gut.
Yeah, dude. I look at your posts and I'm like, I would die.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't get heartburn.
Pizza at 2
well, you're
a.m.
You don't eat
vegetarian,
meat,
dude.
though.
You don't eat meat.
You eat
and you
super
don't
healthy.
Yeah, you eat.
You don't eat the shit he eats. Look at his Instagram.
I
he
eat
fucking
horrible
eats
food, man.
terrible.
I love
dude.
it.
You just said you ate well. Make
Well,
up your
when
mind.
I'm not
No, he's
posting
full
on
of shit.
Instagram stories, I actually eat fairly well.
You know what it is? You travel so much, it almost makes it impossible.
that doesn't- yeah,
It's so because I go
You
on
know,
kicks
it's-
where I mellow out, but when I'm traveling,
If you're airport life,
eat
and
when
I
I'm
get
eating.
that,
That's it.
but
Like,
even still,
I'll tell you the
you
God's
could-
honest truth. Like when I travel is when I eat better.
really,
Really?
You know, there's like
Well,
maybe
then-
one
well, then you
Instagram
know what?
post
You've
where
got
it's crazy.
No excuse.
But there's other stuff. Other times, like if I'm like at an event like Sturgis, I'll wake up, have a protein. I'll go to CVS and just buy like a week's supply of protein shakes and protein bars, and I'll eat that for breakfast. I'll eat that for lunch. I might get dinner. I mean, she hates it. She's like, "You eat like a pig when we're at home, but when we go out, I never get to eat." Like I always tell her, "We gotta eat. We gotta eat. We gotta eat." And when I'm out, it's always something from my pocket or my backpack.
Speaking
Except
of
for like a
Sturgis,
big dinner.
are we ready to admit that we bananaed this trailer at Sturgis 2 years ago?
Yeah, that was us.
We
That was a
straight
great
dropped
one,
bombs,
man.
dude. We
I
assaulted
didn't eat
you,
healthy
dude.
at Sturgis.
Wow, I totally
ate
forgot.
That was when we had an
marijuana food
outside
all day,
bathroom
every day.
in that trailer. Isn't that the weirdest thing ever? All the Rusty Butcher guys. There was an
That whole
outside
deal was
bathroom.
weird. Like, just how we got
The
set up.
bathroom
Like
was
we
so
were like,
blown apart that
Yeah.
somebody brought a big fan. The
No,
Yeah.
you know why the
That was
fan was
Big
there? It was
T.
for Big T.
that was Big T.
Because Big T fucking wrecked that bathroom. You see
Dude,
the size of that
the most
motherfucker?
horrible
For
place.
those who don't
So
know
check it out.
Big T is very big, very black, very awesome.
Super
And
awesome,
he
dude.
takes probably 20-pound turds every
Oh,
morning.
it's the size of like two
Yeah.
So
bananas.
he
he's
had
a
to have an
fucking
industrial
monster.
fan put in a bathroom at Sturgis, so to air it out, so people could go
Yeah,
in.
you still couldn't go in there.
Yeah, it was
Big T,
crazy.
I'm sorry,
Yeah,
homie.
he
You
didn't
fucking
even fit
It was an
right
hour
in a
and
stall.
35,
Remember that? His
45
feet
minutes.
stuck out the
Yeah,
stall and he had to
exactly.
recline. That was great.
He's awesome, dude.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, we were driving by your trailer, and for some, it wasn't planned. It just kind of happened, dude. We just dropped
A bunch of
we had a
bananas.
bunch of bananas.
How did we have a bunch of bananas and we just ended up fucking...
Because we
That
took
was
them
it.
because we were at breakfast and we took them.
Oh,
someone
from
we were out
catering.
then and someone said, "Hey,
Yeah.
we should take some bananas and Banana Holds trailer."
Yeah, I was like, what the hell happened? I was
you-
like, good thing I didn't put the deposit down.
I'm saying that your trailer like got hit with fucking bats and shit, dude. Like it was those bananas did a lot of damage, man. Like
Well,
I remember
apparently-
thinking like,
They're like
oh,
corn
man.
cobs.
When I left,
John Oakes is gonna send us a
Yeah, Oaks is gonna send us a bill for the banana trailer.
when I left a day earlier than the other fools that
So
I
you
worked with.
noticed it then? You
Yeah,
walked out
yeah.
and said, "What the fuck happened to my trailer?"
And I was like, what the hell's going on with this? And then they left the awning up, and the awning was like $2,000 because it got blown over, and so the bananas weren't.
Oh,
missing.
the hot bike awning.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, remember?
No, not the hot bike awning. The
No, the awning on the trailer, and
So
it just
they
got
left it
destroyed
out.
in one of the storms.
From the hailstorms. Yeah.
Oh, that's right. I forgot it.
Yeah, we got some
That was
storms
nothing compared to
that year,
bananas.
man.
Yeah.
I
got
don't remember
caught
much
one.
about that trip.
I remember going in and eating all your cereal every morning.
I remember Rick riding your bike all the time. Why did Rick ride his bike all the time?
Because he didn't have a bike.
Oh,
Yeah, he didn't have a bike, and I had a bike from Harley.
that's right.
That trip was probably the worst I've ever ate in my life because we had the slop haul.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Man, you guys blew it on that one.
Yeah.
No, you don't.
No,
Not
no,
one fucking
no
bleep.
bleeping.
Absolutely
Fuck bleeping.
not. Bleep, no bleeps, no bleeps. Fuck.
Jesus Christ.
Man.
What a mess.
All right, everybody, we woke the dog up.
Oh, Lord. It means we're wiling.
Bear was over there snoring and sleeping, and everything was going great.
Shit.
And now he's awake. Now he's gonna bug Mikey.
Stupid bear.
Yeah, man. So fucking hey.
Yeah.
I've known you a long time.
Yeah, it's been a while.
and
It's been a
we've
crazy trip to see what you guys have done, man. I can't say enough about how proud I am about what you guys have done. Seriously, I tell you guys that all the time.
Yeah, but we...
But like,
Oh,
just-
we appreciate all the
Yeah,
stuff
but
you've
also
done for
just
us,
like I
man.
told Hot Dog, we wouldn't have. I mean, no one makes it by themselves.
It's
And you
impossible.
can't pat yourself on the back and go, "Look what I did! I'm fucking great."
Right.
And we wouldn't have got here without Hot Dog's paint and
There is a couple
Chip's
guys,
know-how,
though.
and we wouldn't have got here without the magazine. And that's fucking just the straight up
well, the
truth.
magazine wouldn't be anywhere it is without custom bikes. Like every
Absolutely.
bike show, everything I do, I thank everybody. Please build a crazy custom
Yeah.
bike because what the hell we're going to be. We're going to be Cycle World doing ninja reviews or
Yeah,
whatever.
no,
Nobody
I
wants to
hear
see
you.
that.
I
People
hear
want
you.
to see
I never thought of that
crazy
being like
ass
magazine
custom
stuff.
bikes.
If when it dries up for a little bit, you
It's
know,
symbiotic,
that's scary.
man.
Yeah, but the magazine never
Where's the
dries
material?
up.
Well-
I mean, right now, let's talk about print. Print
Sure.
versus online.
Let's tail this whole conversation off with what the fuck is happening with print, because
Yeah.
it's almost dead.
Well,
what
I
is
think
going on?
there's very little support from companies. They are all, hey, we want. Of course they want, because we're so hot on social media. We have the biggest numbers of any custom bike magazines. They want that heat, but they're like, well, we see the print's tailing off, and I was like, how do you see this? Like, our numbers have been good, but magazines don't make themselves, and they don't work without ads in them.
Yes.
The deal being is, and also, the age. Everybody's like, well, those guys are aging out. They use all these terms, and it's like, well, here's the real deal. Like,
Hot bike aging out.
well, they said that our readership is, which
Oh,
isn't.
gotcha.
I got young guys that get it every month.
Sure.
We're an anomaly. Say, Baggers is not being printed anymore.
that's right. I forgot
Street
about-
Chopper is not being
That bums
printed
me out,
anymore.
man.
So wait, that's
I'm sure
all
there's
going to be
reasons
just
behind it.
online
They'll
only?
be online only. HotBike, since it's been a
man.
catch-all, and I mean, it was the one that it used to be HotBike Baggers. It used to be, Street Chopper started it. Then it was always switching
Sorry.
back and forth and back and forth
Hold on, Jeff.
between HotBike and Street Chopper, and then we made the Baggers baby, and now both those magazines are getting sucked back into HotBike.
Okay, so you are gonna now. HotBike is gonna not much change direction. It's still gonna be a performance
Yes.
magazine, but now you're gonna, be more accepting to having a street glide in there or a road glide. Or,
Right.
Okay.
And which we always have been, but I think the
Let me ask you
big
this:
wheel.
why are magazines like $8 now too?
Ours isn't. Ours is $5.99, $6.99 special.
Well,
you know?
I mean,
I'm getting taxed at Borders or something.
what is the
paper costs money.
yeah?
and
But what is the
everything
future
else.
for hot bike? Because print is gonna die.
I mean, I've always joked, but it's pretty serious that there's going to be when there's no newsstands. The last two printed magazines will be a hot rod magazine and a custom motorcycle magazine,
Yeah,
because nobody
maybe.
gives two shits if their bike is the web bike of the week, but everybody wants their bike to be a feature bike and a cover bike.
This is true, but you can't make it if no one's buying it. That's
Right.
the fucking problem.
Well, I mean, it's funny because the same advertisers that were told corporately that they shouldn't do ads last year have already hit me up for ads this year. So there's going to be, I think there was I wouldn't say a resurgence. I think a lot of people took a year off and they figured out, oh shit, we're almost out of business because we didn't advertise. Or they didn't market themselves properly. There's still, the people that read our magazines are older. They're in their 40s, 50s, 60s. They're the ones with the money. They're the ones that are retiring.
enough.
They're the ones that love that lifestyle. Younger guys dabble. There's other, they're the same people that had, I'm gonna break it down like this. They had a PS3 for 3 years, and then they got an Xbox, and then they went back to the PS4. Like, they go back and forth. Like, they had a street bike. They're not hardcore dudes. I'm talking about generally. I'm generalizing. But there's a lot of young dudes that only want to read magazines, that only want to, catch our heat that way. And, I get the door beaten down weekly with new bikes from young kids. So it's not an age thing. It's just really motorcycle people like magazines. I'm not saying the magazine's going to be around forever, but I'm not saying, that it's been through lean years and big years, and, it's an accordion, and that's the bottom line. I don't see it going anywhere anytime soon.
you mean the print or the whole magazine in
The
general?
print.
The print. Okay.
I mean,
It'll
we've
just transition to digital if it goes anywhere.
well, it already has.
hate that.
I
So
mean,
we're
I
still
mean,
doing
if
it.
print stops.
Oh,
Can't
it's never
stand
going to
that.
stop.
Yeah.
I mean, the
Yeah, I hate looking at the magazine on the iPad.
Yeah.
Why?
Or on
It's
my
annoying,
phone.
dude.
Sucks, dude.
it's just not the same.
It's
man.
not the same. It's not. You don't have a page to. You do have a page to turn a digital page, but it
Yeah, but-
sucks.
Well, what's
and then it
funny-
doesn't
What's
load
What's the
properly.
difference
And
of
it's
doing that on your phone or an iPad? It's just a bigger phone, and you do it on your phone all day.
no, I'm talking about the difference between having the actual paper magazine in your hand and having your iPad.
Yeah, I mean, the
I
paper
think
magazine
like-
is what everybody
but an
wants still.
iPad, you can have 100 magazines.
It's like the difference of banging a chick or banging a fucking flashlight, right?
What a fucking weird analogy to
I
come
liked it.
thrown in there. We're talking about
It's
hardcore
something's real and
motorcycles.
something's not.
Yo, you're right.
Have you
And I
ever,
mean,
have you ever
it's
A
been
still-
with a
flashlight is
flashlight?
actually real. It's a flashlight with a fleshy piece on the
Correct.
front. So
But
it's real.
I mean, the bottom line being with, I have to remind people, like a subscription's $20. You can't even buy a 6-pack of foofy beer for $20 anymore. Like, and it's home delivery. I don't even call it subscriptions anymore. Hey, you can get that magazine home delivered. Like the young dudes are like, oh man, okay. It's like Amazon Fresh.
Or they say, well, I can just get it on my phone.
No, I don't hear that though.
How
People are
many-
like,
how
I
many
cannot find HotBike at my local newsstand. Guess what? There's no local newsstands.
I say that to you all the time.
The newsstands used to be 12 feet long. Now they're like a foot and a half long.
I can find HotBike at a newsstand because there's 2 newsstands that I know of.
Right.
But in Ralph's or Vaughn's,
Yeah,
it's
gone.
random. You'll see baggers
Yeah,
and then
it's-
you won't see HotBike. You'll
Well,
see
that's
street
the way it
choppers,
is.
but you don't see
Yeah,
HotBike.
it's gone
it's kinda weird.
out of the.
I
It's
like
depressing.
my
One
local
of my
stores.
favorite things to do is to, you stumble upon an old, through my hordes,
Yeah.
you stumble upon an old Easy Rider and just crack open a
Yeah.
random Easy Rider
Oh,
and you
yeah,
see
man.
all this shit. We're like, oh shit, I know that dude. I didn't know he was in magazines.
Now you're gonna have to go in the
You
future.
just-
You're gonna have to go through all these digital archives
yeah,
to find
and
it.
that doesn't.
I mean,
interest
we're
me
already
at all,
working on
man.
that.
Me neither.
So, like,
Yeah, that's some bullshit.
Magazines
like I
got
said,
that old soul.
it's $20 for a year subscription. Like
it's not.
HotBikeWeb.com/subscribe.
There you go.
There you go.
Free
All
plug.
right.
I know.
No, actually, can you pay us for that? Just a little bit, maybe. I don't know. Let's
Just the
say.
tip?
Let's say. Yeah. No. Let's say. We'll take 6 cover features in
You already
2018.
had 6 cover for. That's all he's going to be doing.
What? Really?
Open the door for my drunk wife.
All right. We're gonna
It's to the left.
pause this conversation. Barry, time to go home, bud. Look who's here. Bearsy, look, Mom's here. Go get her.
All right,
Go get her.
in all seriousness, there's more questions we should ask them.
Yeah,
that are
we're
like
going
more
to.
serious. We're gonna reel it in a little bit, maybe. Fucking assholes, dude. Nah, dude.
No, this is a good one, man. We don't need to edit shit. Maybe a couple of your-
Party!
Oh, party girl's here. Somebody lost her keys, lost her purse, had to get a Uber here. Hey, babe, why don't you come over here and let's talk about this?
We need to have a party interview. We
Are
need
we-
to hear about.